Hello and welcome back to another episode of That Podcast. My name is Ryan Janke, and as always, I am joined by Pastor DJ Lura, Sarah DeYoung, and Dana Mashevsky.
Hey, hey.
Yo.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. How you doing?
Good.
I only know what like the first row of these buttons.
I wonder why they made that so insufferably long like that.
Or like the drums.
All of them are.
Really
Yeah.
long.
That's crazy. So, how's everybody? It's been a while since I've seen you.
Darn it, I missed it. It's a trap.
Doing good.
Good.
Yeah, doing all right.
Yeah.
Doing all right.
Okay. What's the haps? What's the latest?
Are we acting like this is not just 10 minutes later?
Nobody
It's
knows.
a new day.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows, Dana.
No one told me.
We were.
It's like, I don't know. Are
This
we
is kind of
lying?
like Wheel of
what's going
Fortune.
on?
They only record 10 days in the month, but they act like it's all the episodes
Yeah,
for the
this is like The Price is Right.
No,
Brian, you're gonna have to cut this
Dana's
out.
here, keeping it real.
Yep.
There's no.
You don't need the Be Real app. We've got Dana.
Totally pulled the curtain back.
Yeah, right. Pay
We're
no
not
attention.
recording, so like I didn't know.
We are
No,
recording.
we are recording.
I meant the video
Oh.
recording.
Oh, sure. So, because we're all in the same threads.
Yeah.
So what's going on is it is getting near to fall kickoff, and there's a lot going on.
We're
but
close.
It's exciting.
We're
It's
close.
You
What's
exciting.
don't
happening
have
this
a
fall?
newsletter?
I just got my Palapalooza postcard in the mail
Oh,
yesterday?
nice.
2 days
Probably.
ago?
Nice.
Yesterday. We'll go yesterday.
Wow.
Probably yesterday.
August
I got mine
28th,
on
people.
Wednesday.
Have you RSVP'd yet, though?
I haven't. I need to.
Yeah, we all have to.
No.
Should I-
No.
Here.
I have.
You have?
You
Okay,
have?
Hold on.
Good.
Hold on.
I'll pull up.
I know that Ryan's not on
I'll
there.
put us all down. You guys will have to go in.
Okay. Thank you.
I was gonna say you want your children to attend with
Well,
you.
and
should
if
make a note
if
of
you
it.
want a pork chop, get your name in there. But it's time to sign up for all that stuff. I mean,
Wait,
Atonement
wait
Fargo.
a minute.
you
Wait a
want a
minute.
pork chop.
When is this one coming out?
This
'Cause
one's
we'll
coming out after Palapalooza.
Oh man, just kidding.
Like, wait a minute.
Brian can cut this in post. He loves big editing on podcasts.
I was just looking at the date, and I'm like, no, that's not going to work.
Just kidding.
See, it's a good thing I brought up.
Hey, how great was Palapalooza?
Oh, it was fantastic.
Pork chops.
So good. Those pork chops. Unbelievable.
I'm so thankful that Sarah got me signed up prior
Yeah.
to it going on.
Yeah, I'm not cutting this either.
Oh no.
No, but everything's coming up, and it's really exciting time. I mean,
But still, if you haven't registered, please do so right now.
yes.
Yeah,
yes,
for
yes.
things that are not Palapalooza.
Yeah,
You
I
still
mean,
register for all of that. Do it.
Sunday school, confirmation, Elevate, life groups.
Yes, because it all starts soon, like in 10 days or something.
Yeah. September's
As of
right
the
around the
date
corner.
of.
I don't know when
there-
this is coming out for sure, but just round it out.
Yeah. If it's September when you're hearing this, we recorded this prior to September.
It will be September when this comes out.
Okay.
There's a really great trend right now on TikTok.
Nobody does that.
There's the joke that TikToks get uploaded to Instagram, and then people who watch them on Instagram see them like 10 years later.
Right.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's like people on Instagram just learning that there's a global pandemic happening. People on Instagram just learning about this. So that's what I'm thinking of. And if you're listening to this in a year,
That's funny.
better luck next time.
Well, if Instagram's just finding out about it, when's Facebook going to find out about it? 'Cause
10
that's-
years.
No. Facebook's for old people.
I know.
That's what they told me.
It's the only one I use.
Yep.
I don't understand these confounded new,
You know what I like is the Snapchat.
the Snapchat.
Yeah, I do. I
We all
love it.
know that Brian likes his Snapchat
Yep.
filters.
I love the filters.
and
They're pretty
Bitmojis.
So, this is funny. So, I didn't get prior approval to use their names, so I won't. But there are a couple of recent graduates. Well, one is a little more recent than the other one. But I had my surgery on a Thursday, and they both had their wisdom teeth out on a Friday.
Right.
And we were snapping back and forth with the filters on.
Uh-huh.
And at least the one of them, the younger of the two, was nutty as a squirrel turd. It was hilarious.
The pain meds they give out.
Oh,
They're not joking around.
it was phenomenal.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
I just heard a Ryanism.
Yep.
Can you guys think of any other Ryanisms that you know off the top of your head that are family friendly?
We're all family friendly.
Windier
Liar.
than Bean Day at the old folks' home. That's my favorite and least favorite Ryanism because it's so funny, but it just sounds wrong. Hearing anybody else say it.
Windier and Bean Day at the old folks' home. That's.
I always think of the one that you got from somebody else.
Oh, I probably got them all from some. Well, Windier and Bean Day is mine.
Going to TM.
But something about like running between raindrops or something.
Oh, he's so skinny that he can run in the rain without getting wet.
Yeah, that one.
That one. Yeah.
Also, just things that you say that are not wrong, but they're not correct
Yeah.
either.
Like what?
Batteries.
Batteries.
Isn't that how the British say it? Batteries?
I don't know. I just
don't
like to say
care.
it
I
because
don't like it.
it
Oh, okay.
irritates Dana. So
And it's every single, it's your go-to way of saying it. I've never heard you say batteries.
really,
Yeah, no.
oh,
I was like, I'm pretty sure this is a thing before me. I just
Oh,
think
yeah.
you enjoy it more.
Yes.
because I don't like it.
much of the stuff I do is dependent on the reaction that I get from the audience.
Yeah,
Like-
absolutely.
Yeah.
What is it? Oh, ink pencil.
Ink pencil, yeah. That one came from my grandpa.
Go give me that ink pencil.
I
mean
hate
a
it
pen?
so much.
Huh? Yeah.
It's a pen.
That's what
It's
she
a
says.
pen.
Do you mean a pen? Yeah, an ink pencil.
Literally is more effort to say ink pencil than pen.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's clever.
well,
And then
it's
adding an S to everything.
adding an S. Oh, like the YouTubes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the Facebooks. Yeah, but that's not mine.
No, but
See, a lot of these just aren't mine.
Is Ryan's just shtick making it a little miserable for everybody, but in a funny way?
In a memorable
you can't
way.
be mad at him.
Well, it's like your story. You got to share the story about the bean dip and your reaction to
The
it.
bean dip?
Yeah, so I was telling Ryan before we started recording the other day, I was in the office for work and I walked in and I said, man, it's windier than Bean Day at the old folks home out there. And then I said, ugh, immediately after. And all of my coworkers were like, what just happened? And I seriously committed. I was like, I wonder if they still do lobotomies because I just need to not have that thought in my brain anymore.
You said it and immediately was repulsed
Yes.
by it.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Okay.
I luckily
continue.
don't do that.
Oh,
As
oh.
someone who mimics a lot of things,
Yeah.
I don't do that.
You've told me that you've had a couple that you've like caught yourself and been like, I hate that, but I can't remember what they were. But
It
it-
might be adding an S to things.
Oh, sure.
Like if I have to text Ryan about something, there are certain people that I will like hear their voices. I read it back, and Ryan's is one of the ones that sticks out. Like a couple weeks ago, I didn't know you had just had surgery, and I was like, "Oh, are you coming into podcast?" And he goes, "Oh, nope, just took one of my good pills. I'm gonna take a nap, and I'll talk to you guys later." And I just heard him go, "Nope."
Right? Well, I was talking to Ryan about this earlier today, and I think he has, for folks who don't know or have just listened, this is our 120 something odd episode.
Could be close to 130.
But the podcast started as an idea that Ryan had when he first started here. It was right before COVID started. Because
He'd had it for a while.
I had the idea before, like right when I first started. I had the idea, but nothing forced our hand
yes,
like
yes.
the introduction of COVID-19.
And then it was the perfect opportunity to do it. But
Yeah.
the more that I've gotten to do this with you and just hang out with you, I just think you have a great voice for this. Like you just have a great voice for this this platform.
Thank you.
Like it's natural.
You got a face for radio.
and I,
I do. That's true.
I didn't say anything like that.
Yeah, but you were thinking it.
Just your
There
delivery.
wasn't implied.
If I didn't know better, I would think that you have a communications degree and that you were trained to do this. But
Sort of.
I mean, did you have classes in like how to talk on the radio, how to talk in?
No. My classes were more focused on writing. It was it had a public relations track.
Okay.
So strategic communications with a public relations track.
So PR.
I love how I'm
Yep,
the
yeah.
least PR trained person then. Doing PR.
Yep.
Fantastic.
No, that was where it was. So there was a lot of writing. Like I took classes on emergency management or like crisis communications or things like that. Yeah, stuff like you just regular public relations stuff. Like there wasn't much marketing in my for my degree, because you'd get to a certain point and then you had to fork off. Either you were going to do public relations or you were going to do marketing. Okay. She's laughing. Why are you laughing?
Just giggling. It's fine.
Just thinking of
all the Ryanisms that are coming to my brain.
So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. From North Dakota State University.
Yes.
In Fargo.
I almost wore that shirt today.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. And then I grabbed this one.
Yeah.
It's Friday. I'm sporting the NDSU stuff. That's just the way it goes.
Yep, that's true. I got my Praying Pelican gear.
Yeah.
From Minneapolis.
Well, it's football season now, so
It
it's getting ready for the Bison games.
Doggone right. Mm-hmm. Russell Wilson's going to take Denver where they belong this year.
Dream big. Dream big.
Yeah.
So,
Seahawks.
Yep. Stupid.
Maybe
Stupid.
we should find a new sport.
Yeah. Like soccer.
MMA.
Oh.
Pickleball.
Competitive bocce ball.
Curling.
Curling.
Yeah.
Fargo has a really strong curling club.
It does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do.
Haven't we had people from this curling club go to the Olympics?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
We have a member.
Years and years ago.
We have a member here, a very active one, who met her husband curling. That's a fact.
I think I've said this before, but that is my favorite winter sport. I like the Olympics, but whenever curling comes on the TV, it doesn't matter what else is going on. I'm like mesmerized. I sit there, I'm just like, wow. What are they doing?
That's DJ's weakness.
You know what was,
tell you right now, just turn on curling.
You know what was great? I was over at one of Haley's friends does curling, and they had an all-day tournament over at the Lights in West Fargo. And so these guys, like, it was a mixture of, I mean, Haley at the time was 12, and maybe she was already 13 by then. But anyway, she was, teen, all the way up to, grown men, like maybe probably in their 40s,
right,
50s playing that. So they were all doing their thing on the ice. And then at the Lights, they have that big monitor up there, and they had real curling on.
I was just at a concert at the Lights, and as the opener was getting ready to play, they put golf on that screen, and it was so weird.
I guess
they're like, how do we entertain the people? These people like golf.
I don't know how to explain it, but I would put curling as like the athletic version of bowling, and I don't know why. It's like because they're you
got that deep lunge.
You're brooming, you're sweeping the ice, and you're skating backwards, and
there's definitely a talent. Like it's like maybe it's a combination of bowling and
housekeeping.
No. Beanbag toss.
Oh, like cornhole toss.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like calling it that. That's dumb.
Well, Ryan, I get uppity about this because if you're not playing cornhole, then I'm going to assume that you are not playing with sport-regulated, corn-filled 16-ounce bags. And I don't want to play cornhole with you then.
There's 16 ounce. How do you know this?
Sarah comes up, feels it. It's like, this isn't regulation. What is this?
She comes in with her little food scale.
Sitting at 15.9, not playing.
Yeah. Is that thing calibrated?
Forgot to tear it, my bad.
Well, you're in trouble when Sarah comes over there and she starts putting on her gloves.
Right.
Because it's game time.
White gloves.
And stretch the arm. Got to make sure you don't pull anything. Too soon?
Abuse. Abuse.
You can't say that.
Okay, this is the last time I'm going to try this.
Abuse. No, you got an ad. You got an ad now.
Didn't work.
You got an ad.
Oh, that's a Ryanism.
DJ.
Anytime I'm going to show a video about something, this is an ad.
Seriously, yes.
Thank you. I know.
Like, oh wait, no, this isn't that.
This
Yeah,
is a
I
video.
can
This is
figure
an ad.
that out.
Do you guys do that now? If you show
No.
a video,
Yes.
Oh, I don't. See, as long as I don't pick up your habits, I'll be fine.
All right, I gotta quit trying to do stuff. It's not working.
We got to.
Well,
program
Actually, we should just program.
Yeah.
don't you have to let people know it's an ad? What if they think it's the real
If
thing?
you're telling me that you're going to show me a music video and it's
And it's
an
Verizon
ad about-
Wireless,
yeah,
I'm
done. Common sense.
Flowers.
Process of elimination.
This is an ad. I do that all the time.
And he'll even be telling a story about it. It'll be like, so I saw this, blah, 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 blah. So here it is. Oh, no, this is an ad.
Sarah, he's done it on the podcast before. Oh, it's an ad. Hold on. Give me a minute.
Terrible.
And like, it's not like we don't all use YouTube and know that it starts with an ad.
Not every time.
Like 90% of the time.
You know, if Ryan could time travel, that whole War of the Worlds on the radio thing
Yeah.
wouldn't have been such a problem because Ryan would have started going, oh, hold on. This is a story. This is a fictional story.
Hold on.
Not true. Nope, don't believe it.
No.
Okay, my side's starting to hurt.
All right. So what's going on? Talk to me, Goose.
Well, I mean, I was wondering if you want to talk to us.
Oh, sure.
What's up, Ryan?
I don't know.
Well, let me.
The War of the
there's
Worlds
a-
outside our door.
Yeah, what is
Right.
going on out
Just
there?
quiet on set.
So, there's one thing that I want to talk about today, and I'll just do it as a lead, and then we can share some news.
Yeah.
But there's this thing in Christianity about living out a Christ-filled life. Once you're tackled by Jesus, everything really does change. I mean, the Christian life, whether you've been a Christian your entire life or come to faith when you're older, we're called to this whole new reality that death has been overcome, and we who are sinners separated from God are now in full relationship with God. How does that affect the rest of your life? And there's a theological term that's used in the church. It's used in secular areas too, but the word is vocation. And so I want to talk a little bit about what vocation is. And I think it ties into, if you think about what is a vocation, it's really, in the most general terms, it's your occupation. It's what you do for a living. And in the church, if you're baptized, you're technically a reverend. Pastors are given that title as like an official title, even though if you're not serving a church, you're not technically a pastor, but they'll still have the title reverend. Well, reverend is actually tied to your baptism, not to ordination into the church as an ordained minister. And so anything that you do for a living, or that is life fulfilling and loves God and loves your neighbor, serves God and serves your neighbor, is a vocation. So, Sarah, what do you do to earn money to get Dolly Parton shirts?
I'm a marketing specialist for a hospital.
So you could say I'm a reverend marketing specialist. And
That sounds weird.
that's a way of looking.
The Reverend of Marketing.
The reverend of marketing.
Sounds very weird.
It's a way of looking at the occupation that you have is not just about earning bucks to make a living, but that you don't stop being a Christian when you enter into that. God is right there with you. And the big question in life often is people wonder is, what am I supposed to do with my life? In the church, we call that discovery and that adventure vocation. And you're not limited to just one. So, I mean, Dana, what is your job title?
Director of Communications.
The Reverend Communication Director.
Don't like it.
Don't like it? Probably not going to put that on a business card.
It's a little long.
Just my entire business card is just like abbreviations.
But also, it's not just like, times are different than they were, even for our grandparents, where whatever their vocation was probably their vocation for their entire life. Hardly any change. That's not the case anymore. And vocations can change rapidly depending on where you see your life moving. And if you get a new position, I guess the good advice has always been stay in the position that you're in. And if it's not satisfying, or you feel like you've done all that you can in that position, you stay in that position and you begin the search for the next position, whatever that may be. But you don't stop your Christian vocation just because you may change a job or something like that.
Right.
So that's the kind of my lead-in. We can talk more.
Okay. Sure.
So.
That's not ominous at all.
No.
So I think what DJ is hinting around at by now,
Beating around the bush.
Yeah. So by now we're, as we talked about earlier, we're into September. So many people probably know this already. But if you do not, or if you are wanting more info than we could talk about in 4 seconds in the hallway on a Sunday morning, I was offered and have accepted a reporter position for KFGO here in Fargo.
Yay! Big time.
Still clapping.
Yes.
Well, you moving on up?
I'm surprised it's not still clapping.
I can make it go again. Yeah.
No,
This one?
no.
Oh,
That one's probably the worst, actually.
Yeah,
it's our live studio audience.
that's
I
right.
want to know what the difference is between this button and this button. They
I-
seem to be the same thing.
They're probably not.
Well,
Too soon?
Yeah.
Poor Dana.
So anyway, yep.
when do you leave?
September 16th.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this whole journey. Like-
Sure. So I think I've shared before what
And this has
how I
in
got
no
here.
way has anything to do with Paulapalooza.
No,
Pastor
nothing. Nope. So I'll give a little backstory for people who don't know, and I think I've shared a lot of this before on that podcast. But so it's actually 4 years ago, just a couple days ago, as we record this, August 17th of 2018, I quit my job at the city of Fargo because about 3 years before that, I started going to NDSU for that strategic communication degree. And I had been with the city of Fargo for a long time, and I knew that I did not like the job. It wasn't for me. Mm-hmm. It's for people, but not for this guy. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to do something else. And now years later, I know what was going on. But at the time, my thought was that, well, of course I'm retiring here at the city, so I want to do something else at the city. And so I decided to get that degree, and then I went to NDSU. And the reason I chose NDSU I knew I was interested in communications, and I thought a strategic communication degree would be great to continue my career at the city, like in the public relations department there. Yep. And so I found out that NDSU had a StratCom program that was 100% online.
Wow.
Yeah. Then I was like, wow, I can do that. So I started it in May of 2015 and was doing my thing, and the classes were all falling into place. And along the way, I went to Off the Charts Music Fest that first summer, actually, I believe. And I met with a guy at a Christian radio station here in town and told him, hey, I'm doing this degree. I'm going to need an internship. It's going to be a while, but I mean, do you think I'd be able to do an internship there at that station? And he's like, oh, yeah, yes, absolutely. Let's keep in contact. When it gets closer, look me up and we'll get something figured out. Nobody interns at the Christian station, so we'd love it. So time went on, and I was doing my classes, and all of a sudden it was like towards, like signing up for classes for what would be my sophomore year. At the end of the sophomore year, it was getting hard to find the 300 and 400 level courses that I needed for this degree. And so I'm like, well, that's weird, but all the other stuff's still falling into place, so I'm not going to worry about it too bad. Well, then in my junior year, I think it was the end of the first semester of my junior year, I went to get classes, and now I needed those 300 and 400 level classes, and I couldn't get them. And I'm like, what is going on? So I called NDSU, and she told me that the StratCom degree was no longer available 100% online. And I'm like, crap. What am I going to do now? So I talked to Tabitha about it, and we're going back and forth. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I made that semester work. I finished out my junior year and went into the summer going, well, I guess this is going to be like, this is going to have to get drug out a long time, because there's no way that I'm going to be able to take classes on campus with this full-time job. I just can't. I don't have that much vacation time. I can't work around it. And so we went on a trip that summer, the beginning of that summer, and Tab said to me, Ryan, I think you need to quit your job and just do it. I'm like, you are crazy. And so we went around and around, and I'm like, I can't do that,
That's crazy sauce.
That's crazy talk. That's how they say it.
Yeah.
And so
That's how they say it.
Who's they?
them.
Those guys.
So anyway, we went around and around and around, and finally she won. And I signed up for classes on campus. I put my notice in for the city of Fargo, and I quit that August 17th of 2018, and I finished the last 2 semesters, and I finished the degree in 4 years. But before I started that first semester in the fall, I was trying to get a hold of the general manager at that radio station, and I could not get a hold of this guy. And we had been in contact before the junior year would have been over with. And he toured me around the station and told me, I'm going to have you do everything from learning how to turn the station on to getting on the air and doing this and doing that. And I want you to be able to walk out of here after your internship, and you would be able to go to any radio station anywhere and just know what to do. And I was like, well, that is awesome.
That's fantastic.
And so it got into the summertime, and I could not get a hold of this guy. And now I'm like a week or 2 weeks away from starting that fall semester, and I'm like, I got to get a hold of him. So I call the main line of the station, because I had called his direct line. I had called or emailed him, all that kind of stuff. And I just can't get a hold of him. And I thought, well, it's summertime. Maybe he's on vacation or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I call, and they're like, oh, yeah, he resigned. He's not here anymore. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? And they're like,
plan A.
Yeah.
Did he leave a note about me for you?
Yeah. So I'm like, well, here's the deal. This is what we talked about. This is what's going on. And she's like, well, I will pass this message along and have somebody get back to you. And that person got back to me like a week later, and they're like, no, we're in transition right now, and there's really nothing that we could have you do. We could have you probably hand out stickers at events and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, that's not going to cut it.
Yes.
And so I was scrambling, because now everybody had filled their internship spots, because the semester was like starting tomorrow or whatever. And so I got a hold of Sabrina, the editor at High Plains Reader here in town. And I sent her an email at like midnight one night. And when I woke up the next morning, I had an email back, and she's like, we would love it if you would intern here. Why don't you come down? Let's talk, figure out what you need to do, and you can do it. And so for those who don't know, High Plains Reader at the time was a weekly publication, a free one you could find at grocery stores around town and some other places. And basically, it's just got it was a pretty small operation. The owners, the editor, and a few salespeople, and then there was just a lot of contributors that wrote stories. And so I went in there, and they're like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, well, what do you got? And they said, what do you need? And I told them, and they said, well, then that's what you can do. So I started posting to the web and writing stories every week. It ranged from just news to feature stories to, like, I did a story at the time. Lisa Hansen was doing Purses for a Purpose for it wasn't Next Step ND at the time.
Okay.
Voice for the Captives at the time. And so I did a story on that, and I did a lot of different stories, and it was great. And we got into the fall, and I'm into my courses, and I'm doing my internship, and I had quit my job, and I was like, Sabrina, do you know of anybody looking for like part-time help? And she said, actually, do you know Tony Bender? And Tony Bender owns some newspapers in Wishick and Ashley, North Dakota. That's in the south central part of the state. And I said, I know who he is, but I don't know him. And she said, well, I think he's looking for some people to help out. Why don't you get a hold of him? And so I got a hold of him, and he pitched me a story. He said, yeah, let's see how this goes. And all of a sudden I was writing every week for High Plains Reader, and I was doing a ton of writing for him as well for those newspapers. And I graduated in May of 2019, and then I started here because Mark recruited me.
Because what communications degree necessarily means church, right?
Yeah, exactly. Middle school, specifically middle school ministry.
Yes, specifically youth ministry.
I was
Absolutely, makes total sense.
Yeah, I said, how does this tie together, Mark? You got to sell me here. Sell this to me. And so he did. And
He's a great salesman, Mark.
So I started here in June of 2019.
Would this be a Ryanism? He can sell ice cubes to
an Eskimo? I've never said that before, no. I don't think. Well, I've probably said it before, but it's not in my Rolodex.
Okay.
You know what a Rolodex is? So yeah,
old tech.
Yeah.
Yes, I know what a Rolodex
old
is.
School. Yeah, the oldest. The
oldest school.
So, so that's how I got here. And then when I got here, I said, DJ, what we need is a podcast. And DJ said, I'll get back to you on that.
Hey, that's a great idea.
Yeah. Why don't you take it and run?
Yeah.
So then COVID hit, and then DJ Sarah and I started that podcast.
Hey, Ryan, remember that idea we had for a podcast?
We had.
You know what I always appreciate about this story is that Ryan leaves out all the times that he was like, you know what we need is a podcast. And all the times that I would say, no. What are we going to talk about?
Wrong.
We're going to run out of content.
Wrong.
Nope, try again.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that for sure. Like, we're like, okay, so it's COVID now. So let's figure it out. And, okay, so we've got enough for like 5 episodes.
Right. So I think it was like week 2 or 3. Pastor Cross calls me into his office. Paul calls me in.
This
Says to me, I think the podcast's a little long. Can you cut it down to like 10, 15 minutes tops?
I don't think it needs to be longer than 20.
No, yeah, you short little snippets. That's what the people want. That's what they need. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I'll run that by Ryan.
I quit.
And that never happened. But the good news is like a week ago.
Well, episode 5, we had him on. And then he
saw it, but
because that was coming from a guy who can't spell his name in 15 minutes.
Exactly. And so we would have a proper platform for Pastor Cross to be able to finish a sentence. It has to necessarily go longer than 15 minutes. But like a month ago, he said to me, he goes, you guys made the right choice on that one.
Finally, your validation.
Yes.
So now that I'm on my way out, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Did a good job, guys.
That's funny. So yeah, we started, and poor Sarah. Oh, Dana, you'd have quit.
Probably.
Did she ever tell you, or did we ever tell you how she edited this thing at the beginning?
You've kind of talked about it, but I don't think I actually know.
We all wore lapel mics.
Yep.
You're kidding.
And it was during COVID, and I was living in Lacey and Bob's
basement,
which had like no windows. So I was in the back corner of this dark basement listening to an hour-long episode.
Because I have
going,
like,
okay, DJ starts talking there. Okay, cut. Okay.
I have her old like planners and stuff she left for me, and like there's stuff about like you doing editing for the podcast episodes. And I'm like, why do you have like a whole day
there's like
blocked out?
random times written down. I'm like, okay, Ryan starts talking at this time. There's a really great clip. I don't think it ever got shared publicly outside of my social media platforms from one of the first episodes of Ryan going, we're going to have another great day of, I don't know what I'm doing. It's my favorite. Like, it's like 5 seconds long and it's so funny.
Oh, that's true. We had no idea.
No.
But then, so we do these episodes and poor
Lapel mics? You couldn't do anything better than
man.
lapel.
I just picture Dana in the basement with like a black hoodie, or not Dana, Sarah with a black hoodie over her head, like with monsters on both sides of the computer.
And it's just the glow of the monitor.
I think it was thankfully.
I don't think we even had headsets.
No, we literally
wouldn't.
sat. We tried to record it once so that way I could line up like who was talking when.
Yeah.
We did it on camera once, and then we just sat around in your office and
No,
talked.
well, the first time I think we shut the fire doors and did it over by the Ark, right?
We also did that one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that wasn't echoey or anything.
No.
So that's kind of, that's how it started.
Like if it was me, you guys wouldn't have a podcast right now. I would have been like, guess what, guys?
Not
it
doing that
can't
one.
work.
So finally, Mark is like, "Do you think that you guys are going to continue to do this? Because if you do, we can invest a little bit of money into this, you know." And I'm like, "Gosh, I think so, but I mean, how much?" And he tells me, and I'm like, "Oh, man, yeah. I'd hate for you to buy it all, and then this thing like fizzle out in 10 episodes, you know."
I think we can make it to 20. I think we can make it to 20.
If people send in a lot of questions, we can maybe stretch it.
We can try.
We're just doing a mini series.
Then we did some on Zoom when we all were out of here for a few weeks or whatever.
You guys have photos of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And so then, it evolved.
I also have snaps of you guys of doing the podcast.
Oh,
on
really?
Zoom, yeah.
That's funny.
Because I'd be like, why are you at home and I'm stuck in an office?
So my one claim to fame for this is that I came up with the name. But what were some of the other names that we thought of? Because we had a bunch.
We were going to do God and stuff.
Oh, yeah. And we should have, because, you know, we did not do God and stuff because,
I think
there's a website.
Isn't that the tagline, though? Isn't like that podcast? We talk about God and stuff.
Well,
I think that's on like the website somewhere.
Well,
Podcast in it.
so we didn't do God and stuff because we looked it up and we're like, holy cow, there's a whole bunch of God, or there's already a God and stuff out there. You know how many that podcasts there are?
Oh, yeah.
There's a ton.
We were first, I think.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
anyway, so we went with that podcast. And then, we've moved around a few spots in this building. We used to be, if you're familiar with Atonement, we were right outside the Ark. We were in my office. We were in
Your office.
we were
when
in the
it was
broadcast room.
There or over there?
No, here I was here.
Okay.
We were in the broadcast room before it got cut in half.
Yeah, that's right. We were in the broadcast room. We were also in what is now the studio. We were in there for a while.
Yeah.
And now we're here. I don't
Finally
think
have a place, a hovel,
a home.
They eventually will look like a normal room.
Right now it's a little bit of like a construction closet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we got Chuck Norris.
It'll
over
get
there.
there. Yeah, we do.
And some beautiful art on the wall
Yep.
of a cow.
Cow.
Cow. And my printout of DJ's House of Theological Knitwoodry.
Of course. Established 2021, still going strong.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Ryan's Conspiracy Corner.
Yep. So that's how the podcast came to be.
Yeah.
And I forgot where we're
What are we
at.
talking about?
Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean that's kind of how it's been going. We had the podcast thing going, and we got the broadcast going, and
You really built up the broadcast team.
the team. Yeah, Mark did endless hours of wiring and all kinds of IT stuff that I would have no idea where to even begin.
Oh, he was in the bowels,
Yeah.
running things through.
And Michael.
Like in the ceiling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Under the stage.
Yep. And Michael and the Satrams all contributed to stringing wires. If we ever took the panels down off the ceiling of this place, you would be.
Watching them put in the new cameras. I'm like, what is all of that?
There's thousands of miles of Cat 5 cable through these walls.
Oh, you could go
absolutely.
to it's crazy. You go to Alaska and back. It's nuts the cables that are in this place. Yeah. And so we did the broadcast team and we got that up and going and in the meantime, last October, I found out that KFGO was looking for somebody to do the news, like post to the web and things like that. And I went and talked to them, and I was looking for some part-time hours, and they could use a guy. So I started writing for them in October. And then I don't remember what month it was, but they had some people going on vacation in like January or February or something.
Real quick though, I mean, were they aware of you? Because you and Sarah were going and cutting promos for Atonement.
Not really. The people who I dealt with were like in the newsroom.
Oh, okay.
And they weren't in the commercials. Not in that. No, not really.
In my head, I'm like, someone saw you guys doing that. I'm like, we gotta snatch this guy up.
No.
Diamond in the rough.
No, because I came on to write, but then it was like in January or February that they're like, they had some people going on vacation, and so they like had me try reading some script and stuff like that, and had people work with me a little bit to see if I could fill in. And so
did they work the way you speak? So it's like, hey, this is Ryan in the morning or something like that.
They helped out a little bit, like, gave some pointers and stuff like that. A few of them were really helpful, like trying to figure that out, like, the reading speed and that sort of thing. But, it's just one of those things where you practice and listen and hate the sound of your own voice, which I do. And
do you do like warm up exercises?
How now, brown cow?
Yeah.
How now, brown cow?
That's a Ryanism.
Buzz, or what was it, like Buzzy?
I don't remember.
Toy boat.
Toy
boat.
I don't remember. So yeah, they had me do a few things, and then they needed somebody to fill in on a Saturday, and so I went in and had a one morning of sort of training. This is how it goes on a Saturday, and then it was like, I think you'll be good to go next week. And I was like, okay. And then after that, it was like, how would you feel about doing every Saturday? Oh, sure, okay,
make it happen.
Yeah, and then full-time position came open, and they offered it to me, and so I took it. But to answer your earlier question, now you do not believe in coincidences, so I don't know what you would call this, but it just so happened to be right within the last couple of weeks of Pastor Cross's tenure here. Yeah.
Have you noticed how funny he is right now? He's like, fire me.
Yeah. He's just like on a different level.
It'll take 2 Sundays, a letter to the congregation, and a 67% vote, and you ain't got it.
Yep. And also just like you have 14 days of me, you have 13 days, you have 12 days.
He's like a senior in high school. He's got senioritis. He's just counting down the days. But he's still super fun.
This Paulapalooza is going to be like right down his alley.
Yeah.
And by the time this comes out, it already happened. That's right. The pork chops were great.
Can you believe what happened? Feel bad for anyone who didn't make it.
But yeah, he is. He's been wound up tighter than a fiddle string, as they say.
I will say, as I walked in the building today, I had walked by the main office and he was on his phone. And then all of a sudden I saw Dana and I was talking to her. I was about midway down the hall and all I heard was, Sarah, I have a bone to pick with you people.
You people.
Her and her ilk.
Yes, my ilk.
Your ilk. Oh, I love it. Yeah, he's got Paulisms.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Well, we all know.
We've talked about that.
A whole door full.
Yeah.
So.
And they've been growing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have.
More.
Oh yeah, there's.
It wasn't an exhaustive list.
There is a ton. So anyway, yes, I will. This episode should be out before my last day, I believe, which is September the 16th. It's a Friday, and then I start over at KFGO.
We're going to have to rename the podcast.
Well, so we're going to have to rename the podcast That Podcast of Former Employees.
That part-time podcast.
Yeah.
Because part of us are employed. The other part aren't.
That part-time podcast.
That podcast formerly known at Atonement or something like that.
You know,
Probably from Atonement.
seriously though, you know,
We're still employed, aren't we? You and me?
I'm hoping so, but I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
I haven't gotten the news yet.
as we record this,
That's a joke. That's a joke.
All right. Well, let's find out. Just for a little game here. Mm-hmm. Let's find out if Ryan,
that's me.
ending his time at Atonement and going to KFGO, if it is a vocation. All right.
Okay, hit it.
So, huh?
I said hit it.
Hit it. All right. So, vocation is a strong feeling of suitability for a particular career or occupation.
Yeah.
Check.
Do you feel like this change will be fulfilling to you?
I believe so. Like I said, I've been doing it since October. I've been doing on the air steady every Saturday. Not every Saturday. I've missed a few. I had to go blow my Achilles and things like that. But most every Saturday since January or February, whatever it is. And I really enjoy it. And they are, you know, they seem to like what I'm doing, and that feels pretty good.
Yeah.
And it feels like I feel like you know, I feel like it is something that I would like to do, and I feel like it's something I can do. Okay. Hopefully better than that.
How Midwestern of you.
I was gonna say, that was the most
Not too
Midwestern
bad.
thing of just being like,
Real
maybe?
middle ground.
Hopefully better than okay, but yeah, I do.
Hey, Ryan, you think you can do this? Oh, I suppose.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I bet.
I don't think I say like Midwestern terms and things like that, but if I ever do, I'm gonna be so disappointed. Just hearing that, I'm just like,
So, do you think of this? First of all, what's the title? What is your job description?
Reporter.
You're a reporter. Okay. So, would you consider this? Does this feel like it's a calling? This is so. Here's the game.
Sure.
I'm gonna name these words off, and you tell me yes or no.
Okay, sure. Calling.
Is it a calling?
No, maybe.
Do I feel called to it? I feel
I
like
mean, they did call you.
They did call me.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
yes.
can I
On the
get-
phone.
Can I get out on that technicality? I feel like it is something that people have encouraged me to do. I mean, I've been encouraged by my wife. I've been encouraged by a lot of other people who tell me that you know, you sound really good, and it just feels like, you know, this is something that I feel like I've been called through things that I've heard from other people.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Well, a call comes outside of yourself. If you're calling from, you know, inside, you're nuts. You're crazy.
That's a different kind of vocation.
Right. Okay. Let's try this next one. Would you consider this your life's work?
My life's work? Mm-hmm. Well, I haven't started yet.
Well, there you go.
That's a long time.
I know.
I love how these are supposed to be yes or no answers.
Ryan's really good at the yeah, but. Should have been a lawyer. Yeah, but. Yeah, but. How about this? Is it a mission? I gave you a pass on the life's work. I gave you a no just from your response there. So, yes to calling, no to life's work.
Okay. A mission.
And this isn't locked in stone. So,
Your
If you
answers
don't
can
like
change
the
later.
results,
but would you? You are a man who is well versed in mission work. Mm-hmm. Would this be a mission?
You know, I think I'll say yes so that I don't get the eyes. But I think that this is something that no, we don't know. I didn't know, when I took the job in October that I was going to be there full time in less than a year. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
As time went on, it seemed like it could happen. But I don't know what's going to happen, but I do feel like the communication thing seems to be a theme since I left the city, and it very well could be already a training for what's yet to come. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Very good.
Sure.
Next one, and hopefully we'll start speeding up on these.
Okay. Sorry.
It's a yes, no answer.
Because there's a lot of them.
Literally, yes or no.
Oh, okay.
Speed round.
Purpose. Is this your
Yes.
purpose? This is your purpose. Is this your function?
Conjunction junction?
Sure. Why not?
I don't know. Is it my function?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
Just say yes.
Sure.
Well, on a computer, you put function something else and
Yeah.
it does something.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm going to be doing something, so.
yeah, you're functionable
Yeah.
at it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You can function doing it.
How about is this? Would you consider this not a position but your position?
Yes.
How about your niche?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay. How about profession?
Yes.
Occupation?
Yes.
Career?
Yes.
Job?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Day job?
Yes.
Employment?
Yes.
Pursuit?
Hey, these are getting easier.
I
Yes.
know. Trade?
Yes.
Craft?
Yes.
Business?
I suppose.
Line?
My line.
Like line of work?
Oh, yeah, it's my line of work. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Specialty?
Yes.
Speciality?
Isn't that the same?
Apparently not.
Sure.
It's
Yes.
province.
Province? We're not in Canada. I'm saying no, because we're not in
Dana's like,
Canada.
I gotta go.
Sphere?
My sphere? No.
No?
I mean, my world's not going to revolve around it. Is that what we're talking about?
I don't know.
I was waiting for him to be like, I'm more of a
how you
parallel
hear these.
program
It's how
guy.
you hear these words. How about walk of life?
No.
I can't even pronounce this one. Metier?
Yeah. Yes.
Sure.
You don't even know what the word is.
How about your game?
My game? No.
Play the game?
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe. Like Triple H.
Yeah, you can say you're the
Everybody
game.
just lost the game.
How about your thing?
My thing?
Yep.
had
That's
to.
kind of my thing. Maybe parts of it, sure.
Your bag.
That's my bag. No.
Say it again.
Bag.
Bag. Bag.
Big.
Bag.
You just said that so
Bag.
Midwestern.
Yeah,
Bag?
that was really.
Didn't I say bag?
What's the Midwestern one? I say bag, like long
Bag.
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 or bag.
It's lost
shorter.
all meaning now. Stop.
It's I've seen it take
Bag.
Midwestern say BAOG. Bag.
Bayog?
Kind of.
Okay.
It's like a long.
Okay, well then, is this Midwestern for the last one? You're a rake it?
Yes.
Racket?
Oh, racket.
Yeah.
Not a racket.
This isn't your racket.
I don't think so. I'm not going to strong
You're not
arm
gonna cause a
anybody. I
racket?
don't think.
So those are all synonyms for the same word, vocation.
Sure. Okay. Well, then I guess they'd all be yes. You got to go back and recheck some of the boxes.
Good thing you edit
Well,
this.
and vocation is a strong feeling of suitability for a particular career or occupation.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited about it because when I quit the city of Fargo, I've had a lot of jobs. I mean, I've probably had an average amount of jobs. And I've had jobs where I've been like, man, I am going to miss those people, but I'm not going to miss
What
that
is the
job.
average amount of jobs for a person? Can you Google that?
Yeah. Keep talking.
I'll miss the people, but I am not going to miss the job, or I'll miss that job, but I'm not going to miss those people. I'm going to miss everything about this
Oh, good.
at Atonement.
At least you're gonna miss us. I was like, if we're one or the other, that's gonna be sad.
No, seriously, it was a really hard decision because I'm like, so there were some things that played into it. And part of it was, if you're not from around here, this probably doesn't mean much, but if you are from around here, it's KFGO. It's not, and it's something that, like when I left the city, that was it. I was done. It wasn't like, hey, I'll call you up, and if I got time, if it's snowing on a Saturday, call me up. I can come in and help out.
Right.
You can't do that. And the beauty of atonement is that I think I'm leaving on okay terms. And
Check back.
Let's see how this episode goes first.
But I can still like say, hey, I wanna help out on the broadcast team, or I wanna sub in for a confirmation group, or I want to go on a mission trip, which I really do.
Yep.
And so that's the beauty of it. I something that did play into it was, this could be the one and only opportunity to do something that I think I will do really well, and that I think I'll enjoy quite a bit. And I think that if I don't do it, I don't want to kick myself,
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
in 20
You don't wanna
years
be,
saying I should have done
what
that.
if?
Those, what is it? The things that you don't do or what you regret.
Yeah.
That's the yarn.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I don't think I'm dying. And, I mean,
Hey, that's my line.
Your latest health report would say otherwise.
we're not moving. We're not switching churches at all. My family is very locked in here at Atonement. And so, we've already talked about this. You let Sarah come back for the podcast, so I don't know why I can't.
Okay.
She has skills that cannot be replaced. So
Button pushing.
no, and that's that. We've already talked about this. That as long as you want to keep doing that podcast, we want you to keep doing that podcast. And that was the same with Sarah too.
And they were, they gave me the green light and said that's fine. I mean, we got to figure out times to do it outside of my work hours, which is reasonable.
Yep.
And so
over your 2-week vacation, we'll shoot 200 episodes.
do them all in this 2
So
week.
you're actually just taking a week of vacation to go to the podcast.
2 week time span.
To answer your question, the average person has 12 jobs in their life. 12.6 jobs or 12.3 jobs. 12.6 for men, 12.3 for women.
So I could round mine to 13.
Yep.
I've probably had 13 jobs.
Yep. Well, this is the last one then. So
This is it.
Yep.
well,
So-
it's you're not leaving just yet, but I'd like to say this out loud, and I said this with Sarah too. It's been an honor to do ministry with you, and it's been fun, the stuff that we've been able to create together.
Yeah.
And what we're doing with that podcast, I'm looking forward to us continuing to do stuff
Yeah.
like this together. And it's the only difference is now when it's like, hey Ryan, we really need to get this done. You can be like, I don't really want to.
Yeah, I'm doing my nails. Similar to Pastor Cross, he is leaving with things or left by this time with things in a really good spot. Really, really good spot.
Yep.
And as far as the confirmation program goes, I feel like it's also in a really good spot. And I feel like you and I, DJ, have worked together so well that I feel like somebody could come in and for that youth director position could come in and take off with it and hopefully do even better than what it's at right now.
Yeah.
There's something really cool being able to look at like, okay, I've taken this to the top that I can.
Mm-hmm.
How can I set it up for the next person to take it even further outside of the skills that I have? And
Which is
that's what you've done for so much.
And that's what you did with, passing the baton on to Dana. And, you did so much that was a real blessing. And then she came in with gifts that weren't identical to yours and is doing things that is also blessing that same position. So, yeah.
I mean, we say that.
What's that?
It's
We
true
say
though.
Well, you're sitting right here. I'm not going to say otherwise.
Exactly.
No, it's been a lot of fun, and you and I came on to serve here roughly about the same time.
Yeah, you were January, right? And I was June.
Yep, and our first big thing was happening in September with relaunching Wednesday nights.
Yeah. And we did kind of an overhaul.
Yeah, we did. And it's designed in such a way that either one of us can vamoose, and the program would still continue.
Yeah.
With people being able to come in.
Yep.
Once I get this curriculum finished, good night.
You'll get there. I'm confident of it.
Thanks, Ryan.
I don't know. I just don't know who's going to be pestering you to get it done. Hey, tapping the wrist.
What
here.
I'm concerned about is who's going to keep dropping sermon notes into my box and I curse their name every time they go in there.
Well, thankfully it won't be me. Thankfully it won't be me. I might fill them out now.
Yeah.
And not sign them. No idea whose this is.
Sign them your burner email that you've used on that podcast. Who is this guy? He says the worst stuff. That's right.
That's too good.
You're just gonna have to steal a piece of paper that he's written on and be like
comparing
study of
I've pulled in a handwriting expert.
Start writing with my left
the
hand.
Y's are the exact.
That's right. See how he makes this loop here?
He starts at the bottom. This person starts at the top.
Right.
That's funny.
Well, God bless you, my brother. And,
thank you.
It's weird because it's like you're taking on a different calling, a different vocation, but you're still Ryan. You're still going to be around.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And I'm excited because I'll be able to. I'll be doing, as like I said, reporting. So I'll be writing. You'll see my name on KFGO on the web, and you'll probably hear me from time to time. And I'm doing a podcast there and a racing one.
Good.
And
I'm glad you're not going to compete with us.
No. No. And I should be doing like a weekly blog there as well.
Nice.
So
Nice.
Ryan, the Reverend Reporter,
Ooh.
See, that doesn't sound as weird.
as Reverend Communications Director
Yeah.
or Director of Communications, Reverend Director,
how about Reverend of Communications?
Reverend Communicator. Yeah.
Yep. Dana, the Reverend Mershevsky. That's how they say
That
it.
just sounds like a wrestler.
That's how they say it.
So, yeah.
All right.
So that's it. That's what's going on. That's you got the story of how it happened, and that is exactly how it happened.
They got the tea.
Yeah. Yep. That's the T, and the timing is the timing. It's just what it was.
Here's the last question that I have for you, Ryan.
7.
How are you going to keep up with what's hip with the kids?
Well, I will be around here. My intent is to be here irritating them as much as I do now.
Okay.
They're here on Sundays. I'm here on Sundays.
Just checking.
They're here Wednesdays.
Just want to make sure, you're not pushing P and falling behind. And
Oh, no. That's Cap.
gotcha.
Yeah. What?
Nothing.
Yeah. I know.
Nothing.
I will, me and the current lingo will be down like 2 flat tires.
All right. Well, you can join us every
Yes.
Sunday.
Just exhaust me to
Online.
a point.
What? If you got 2 flat tires, you're not going anywhere. You're down.
You're down. That's bussing.
Yep. Bussin'. True dat. And who dat?
I
So-
love using those words, especially with my teenage daughters.
Yeah.
They said something. I said, that's so sus. They're like,
Yeah.
you're not using that right.
Yeah.
Or I said, that's bougie. She goes, if you're not talking about food, you're not using it correctly. I'm like, oh.
That is the beauty of words. Because if you know what they mean, you can properly use them incorrectly.
Well,
And I love it.
my youngest daughter says, well, look at me, and I'll say something to her, and she'll say LOL, and I'll say, you're not using that right.
Eli will do lol.
Lol.
Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah, he does.
That's just wrong.
So I call him lol from now on.
Hey, lol.
Lol. Yeah, I do. And so he went through, you know how it is. You go through, just like the jargon, you go through seasons of using different words. Like bussin' was out almost as quick as it was in.
As soon as I heard it, it was already out.
Yeah. And so like Eli went through a period of calling everybody bruh. And he still will from time to time.
Like
got
with
that
an
too.
H?
Bruh. Yeah, with an H.
Okay.
And so, just because I can, I have...
Because you can doesn't mean you should.
Well, that is true. I've used that one a lot. I have also, instead of calling him Lowell, I will also call him Bray.
Bray.
But instead of just calling him Bray, I'll say Bray. And he dislikes that.
Oh, I wonder why.
Which makes you like it even more.
Yeah. Yeah. If the machine turns on when you push the button, you got to push the button.
That's why Ryan should never be president. That giant, like, orange button with the cover, or the red button with the cover.
It's a button you got now today.
Yep.
Well, much more to come, folks. Much more to come.
Yes.
If you're looking for a place to worship, we would love to have you join us at Atonement at 9 and 10:30. Oh, I'm sorry.
Do it. Just keep going. You're doing just fine.
Bring it home.
I see what's going on around here.
Ryan, it's been real. It's been
So
fun.
actually, by the way,
Don't let the door hit you on. No.
DJ did great while you were gone for
You did
a month.
fabulous
so-
job.
No, go on.
No, I'm
I
done.
got to see this live.
No, I'm done. It just doesn't. It doesn't work right. It doesn't work right.
No, it works.
Ryan, are you
going
going to pray us out of here? Or should we pray for you?
Will you pray for me?
Sure.
Again?
You haven't for like a week.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time together to laugh and to share stories. And Lord, I thank you for Ryan and his position here. And I pray that you surround him and his family as he starts this next chapter, that you bless them with whatever his vocation may be, that he finds happiness and prosperity and just all of the things that he is looking for, Lord. And I pray that whoever fills his position at Atonement is able to take it to the next level for those middle school youths. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I like how you used youths.
The minute you
One
said it, I was
time,
like, oh,
and you'll
there
never
it
hear
is.
it from my mouth again.
Youths.
Youths. All right, bring it home.
Okay. If you would like to join us, you can find us every Sunday at 9 and 10:30 at atonement.live or atonementfargo.org or on YouTube, where you can also find all sorts of past episodes of that podcast, like 130 of them or something.
Wow.
Maybe not quite yet. I don't want to get crazy, but
That's pretty good for only having 20 episodes of content.
exactly.
You guys really stretched that.
Still
That's impressive.
Still fresh after all these episodes. 9 and 10:30 every Sunday, all those places I mentioned earlier, plus on YouTube you can find past episodes of that podcast, Bible studies, past sermons, full worship services, and all sorts of other things. So for Dana Mashevsky,
Full.
for Dana Mashevsky, Pastor DJ Lura, and Sarah DeYoung, I'm Ryan Janke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you next time for another riveting episode. You tried, and it actually worked, of that podcast.